Hi friends, this is Dr. V.V.N. Acharya. I have been teaching for JEE coaching since 2000. I would say 26 years of guiding students for JEE entrance examination. I have worked on platforms where we had every year at least 3 to 4 ranks in the top 100. So keeping account of the number of students till now will be difficult for me, but as it is, every year we had at least 3 to 4 students in the top 100. Basically, done my research in underwater sensors. I have 3 international publications and my research work has been patented. Getting back to our work in JEE coaching. What is it that we search for a student as far as a JEE material is concerned? Every parent will have this query, is my child worth preparing for JEE? Because it is 2 years of not just hard work for the child. It is for the complete family. You, me and the child. All of them should be in sync as far as the JEE coaching is concerned. And it will be a strenuous job for whole of the family, which includes even us. So there are 3 basic qualities we search in a child to be successful in JEE. The 3 A's. I would put it this way. First A stands for aim in life. Are we ready for it? In principle, first set up a target. You have an aim in life. I am supposed to get into IIT, and this should be unwavering faith in yourself. You are supposed to stand by your commitment till you are getting into IIT. There will be so many ups and downs. It is always easier said than done. We expect a growth graph like this, but in principle you will see a growth graph like this. There will be n number of times when you score well in one of the weekly tests. There will be n number of times when you do not score well in the weekly test. You need to stand by your commitment. That happens when you set up your target, not your parents. The child should set up the target. The aim should be very clear. I'll give you an example for this. When I joined for research, the first day of my research, my guide asked me, what kind of research do you want to do? I was surprised. How do I know what kind of, didn't even know what research I will be doing the day I joined. I sat with folded hands in front of him and I just kept listening to him. He smiled and he said, his guide's generation had a very proper target. He asked me, do you play dart? I said, I don't play, sir, but I know what dart is. It's like taking an arrow and hitting the target. His guide's generation had a target like this. They used to go and start playing the dart. When they strike something exactly at this particular point, they used to claim, look, this is what I was searching for and I get my doctorate for that. His generation, he was 30 years older than me. His generation, it seems, diluted this target and they made this the target and they said, we start playing the dart. Anywhere we strike in between, we get our PhD. He looked at me and smiled. I didn't understand the essence of that smile. He said, your generation changed the rules of the game. My generation changed the rules of the game. How come? I kept quiet. I thought that day he was mocking at me, but he was conveying a very important message in life. The message is, my generation, it seems, according to him, go there and they play the dart. Wherever they strike, they go and circle that and they say, this is my target. So according to him, he was conveying a message to me, don't change your target over the time. When things start getting difficult, we change our targets. As the wise saying goes, when the going gets tough, the tough get going. So once you set up your aim, your target, that should not change. That is the first requirement in the student that we are in search of. You want to get into IIT, first set up your aim. And it's not that I will try, I will get into. Let that be the attitude. That is our second requirement. When you are speaking about attitude, what kind of an attitude are you expecting from us? And for Gen Z generation, all the more that's important. It's like thinking out of the box solution. What do you mean by thinking out of the box solution? I give this as an example regularly. We tell the students to try to connect all 9 dots using 4 lines without picking up your pen from the paper. I repeat the question. You have to connect all 9 dots using 4 lines without picking up the pen from the paper. 4 straight lines. Here you are not supposed to ask me, can it be a curved line? Can it be a curve? No, they should be 4 straight lines. In general, what students commit as a mistake here, I will show you the attempts that they do. 1, 2, 3, 4. They miss out one particular dot. Say, give one more try. 1, 2, 3, 4. They are missing out one more dot. However you try staying within the box, you will not be able to connect. The key catch in this particular problem is you are told 4 lines. They didn't tell you the length of the line. The length of the line can be anything. We want students to think in those directions, think out of the box solutions. The future is with those people who can think out of the box solutions. For instance, let me connect these dots and show it to you. Only if you go out of the box, you will be able to connect it by 4 lines. First line, second line, third line, and fourth line, right? You have to connect this with 4 lines, and this is possible only when you go out of the box. And this is what we suggest to the students. Think out of the box solutions. If this attitude can be developed, getting into IIT will become a child's play. Learning is a systematic process. Over the 2 years, all over the country, every institute covers the same sort of the material, almost the same set of problems. What need to be developed within the student is this skill and ability to think out of the box solutions, and that makes life easy, not just to get into IIT, but after getting into IIT as well. This attitude of the student should continue with the student. Third quality that we search for is adaptability. How adaptable you are to circumstances. How frequently can you assess your performance? How frequently can you assess the examination trend? Examination trends keep changing every year. You need to be adaptable, and only then you will be able to go through the entrance examination. It's a grilling process. The paper gets tough, fine. It is a relative competition. If you answer only one question correct and whole of the country gives a blank paper, you are the first ranker. This is relative competition. So neither should you get overwhelmed in either ways. I am solving the paper very well, paper is easy, I become overconfident, is a fool's job. The paper is easy for everyone. I am able to solve only 2 questions right, I get depressed, again is a fool's job, because the paper is difficult for all. Everybody is facing the difficulty. You solve only 2 questions and whole of the country gives the blank paper, you are the first ranker. So adaptability has multi-dimensional thought process. How adaptable you are to circumstances, not just emotions, but even the problems. Problems can be easy, problems can be difficult, problems will be solving, problems can be theoretical. You need to be adaptable to the circumstances there. Problem with us is we are biased. Man is born free but lives in chains. Break hold of those chains, be adaptable, and things will become easy. I'll give you one example here. Why do you say we get biased? because we only read one part of the line. For example, you read this line and figure out what it is. The very fact that you are able to read this line tells me that you are reading only the first and the last alphabet. You are assuming the middle alphabets. The moment you assume things, you fall for the trap. You are biased there. Try to see what the examiner is wanting you to see, not what you want to see. I also learnt this hard way through once in 2005 when one of the students bought a question and he told me, "Sir, I read the question wrong." I initially didn't know what answer to give him. Then read the question correctly. Why should you read the question wrong? Read it the second time. But I was confused. Why will somebody read the question wrong? It's not about reading the question wrong. The student was biased. Basically, a student who comes from 10th standard has solved quadratic equations. So when you solve quadratic equations, the question given was x cube minus 3x plus 2 is equal to 0, while the student read it as x square minus 3x plus 2 is equal to 0. I looked at the paper and I asked him, it was so clearly specified that it is 3. Why should you read it as 2? There is no reason. Then the specs power will have to be changed. All the kids around smiled, they laughed, they left. I knew I evaded the question, did not answer the question. Later on that particular year, when a student bought a question paper from somewhere and I was solving that paper in the class, it was pressure on the y-axis, it was an adiabatic graph. I took volume on the x-axis and I started solving the problem. Immediately the student stopped me and he told me, "Sir, it's not volume on the x-axis, it is temperature on the x-axis." I looked back at the question paper and I was shocked. Temperature was given in bold, dark color. Then why did I read it as volume? Because I was biased. I solved innumerable number of adiabatic curves with PV graphs. I feel at home to see something that I already know. I should see what the examiner wants me to see. I am not supposed to see what I want to see. I should be adaptable with the circumstances. I should adapt to the question paper. I should adapt to what the examiner wants me to see. The day I develop these 3 skills of 3 A's, I repeat, it is the 3 A's. Take it for granted, you will be 100% successful in life. You call it IIT, you call it life after IIT. Life starts from the IIT campus. Life doesn't end in the IIT campus. Getting into IIT is not the only target. Being successful after getting into IIT is the target. Getting into IIT is a means of being successful. It shows you the path. Why should somebody get into IIT? It is the peer group. You are sitting among a group of students who will be the future intelligentsia for the country, who will be the future decision makers for the country. Hence, you should get into IIT. I again reiterate the 3 A's. Aim in life, please set up, don't dilute it, don't waver in between. The day things becoming difficult, don't try to dilute it. Attitude, stick to your attitude, think out of the box solutions. Adaptability, don't be biased, be adaptable with the circumstances. Life will become simple, getting into IIT will become a child's play. Thank you all of you. Welcome to the family of Xylem.